What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through one of the hardest questions of the May-June 2022 paper. That is question 4. The reason this deserves a video on its own is not only because the question is worth 6 marks, representing close to 8% of the entire paper, which can obviously be a difference between an A and a B, but also because in the examiner report, they mentioned that question 4 presented a challenge because it was different to anything the candidates may have seen before. This means that not only was this challenging, but it was a high marking challenging question, which means that average students could have easily lost 8% straight off the bat. So, how do we go about solving this? Well, first, we need to recognize what type of question this is. That is, it's a product rule question. Now, the trick here is to go nice and slow, because this is often the trickiest part. Okay? And just to reiterate, it's a product rule question because they want us to find the x-coordinate of the stationary point, which indicates that it's a dy dx. You need to find that first and then set it equal to 0, which will then give us x. Okay? And to find dy by dx, we have to use the product rule because this is a product. So, we're going to put this in the right format. I'm going to say let u, okay, I'm going to let u equal sine x to the power of a half, and that means that the derivative of u dash, is going to equal a half sine x to the negative a half times negative cos x. How did I get that? Because the chain rule. If you haven't seen the video yet, make sure to go watch it. Okay, so we brought over the half here. Okay, we minus 1 from a half, and then we did the chain rule on sine x, okay, to give us cos x there. Okay, perfect. So that should be positive. Apologies. So next we're going to say let v equal cos x to the third. Okay, which means then that v dash is equal to 3 cos x squared times negative sine x, which equals negative 3 cos squared x sine x. Okay, so the next step here is to say, well, u dash v plus uv dash is going to equal 0. And we set it equal to 0 because dy by dx needs to equal 0. Okay, so therefore what we have here is, in this expression, multiplied by this expression, okay, plus sine x to a half, okay, times negative 3 cos squared x sine x. Okay, I'm going very slowly here. Right, so from here now, this is now going to simplify, and it's going to simplify to the following. I'm going to just reverse this around just to make things easier. So if I reverse this, I get negative 3 cos squared x sine x root sine x. Root sine x comes from this here. Okay. Put that over 1. Add a half, okay, of cos to the 3x cos x over root sine x equals 0. Okay, this is the same thing, and I've done that because remember, sine x to the power of negative half is a root. Okay, so now we're going to drop the brackets. Okay, we're going to drop the root, and the way we do that is we times by root sine x, and when we do that, we are left with the following. We get negative 3 cos squared x sine x times sine x plus a half of cos 3x cos x equals 0. Okay, now we can simplify this even more. If we simplify this, we get negative 3 cos squared x sine squared x, that's a half cos 4x equals 0. Next, we want to make life simple for ourselves. Okay, we want to make life simple for ourselves because it's going to make the question a lot easier. And the way I would do that is we factorize. Okay, we factorize. So we take out cos squared x. So we're left with negative 3 sine squared x plus a half cos squared x equals 0. If we set cos squared x equal to 0, we get what? X equals pi over 2, which is out of bounds. Okay? But if I set negative 3 sine squared x plus a half cos squared x equals to 0, I've got room to maneuver. Because what I can say is negative 3 sine squared x plus a half, okay, 1 minus sine squared x, and I've done this here, right here, because cos squared x from an identity can equal 1 minus sine squared x. So I've done that, which means what I get from here is negative 3 sine squared x plus a half minus a half sine squared x is equal to 0. Okay? Now, what this means is if we add this up here, right? What do we get? Well, negative 3 sine squared x over 1 plus 1 over 2 minus sine squared x over 2 is equal to 0. We times this all by 2. Negative 6 sine squared x plus 1 minus sine squared x is equal to 0. Negative sine squared x plus 1 is equal to 0. Negative sine squared x equals negative 1. Sine squared x equals 1 over 7. Sine x therefore equals 1 over root 1 over 7, which gives us an answer of 0.38 radians.